Alright, my name is the one and only, also known as Cheeseman. So as you guys know, we recently released a new update for the Lord of the Rings mod for Hearts of Iron 4, which means it's time for a quick news update video. So I'm gonna talk about the new update that just got released. I'm gonna just quickly go through all that has been changed and added and so on. After that I'm gonna talk about our very first giveaway, so stay tuned for that one. And I'm gonna finish it off with talking about what the future has in store for us. So to start it all off, this time the update wasn't centered around certain countries or something that got reworked or updated or anything. This time it's all about certain mechanics. So the main things that have been changed are the new designers. We changed how forts work, and of course a lot of updates and bug fixes and so on and so on. I'm not gonna mention them all. If you want to read everything that has come and changed and has been added in this update, you can always go and look at our changelog that you can find in our Discord server. So if you want to join that, link is in the description. So let's talk about those designers. Let's talk first with the cavalry. So we changed that to cavalry, of course, the tanks. And now we finally also added the designer for it. As you can see, you can now choose how your horse is going to look like, what's going to happen as a weapon, certain things you can add to the modules as base game. End result is amazing looking for all the designers, by the way, that has been added in this game. Besides the cavalry, we also have added a designer for the siege equipment. So for the battering ram and so on and so on. Then there's of course the boat designer, which has been changed. Now it looks like this. Doesn't it look amazing as well? We have not changed really the boats that are in the game. Of course, we already did that a few updates back. But now we also have the designer in store. Then of course, last but not least, as said before, the eagles / the fellow beasts now also have this designer in store where you can make a certain design for the eagles that you're gonna use in battle. We changed a bit more about how those work in the game, since the planes can't be directly translated to Lord of the Rings, since having thousands of eagles fighting the battle doesn't really make sense, of course, in the world of Middle-earth. So we changed that up a bit. So we thought about what we wanted to do and we came up with the following system. We now have a limit on the amount that you can have, which is relatively still high. I mean, you can get it up to 90, I believe, which are still a lot of eagles to have in battle, of course, but you gotta find the balance between keeping it lore accurate and keeping it a fun game. So I think we have achieved that in this way, the best way possible. Like I mentioned, you can gather up the capacity, and having them in lower amounts also means that them on their own are stronger than most planes used to be. Next, we changed the forts as well. You now have encampments and you have castles. Encampments are just really, well, encampments. I think since Lord of the Rings, of course, set in a medieval world, this kind of system makes more sense. I think encampments for just quick, cheap bit of fortification, which gives, as you can see, a small division defense bonus, a small max enchantment bonus, which can level up to number 5. On the other hand, we have castles, which of course were very common as well in medieval world. Those are more the same as how forts work. In the base game, they don't just give you a certain bonus to defense. They work like the forts used to, with an attack penalty of 20%. So how expensive they are and the fact that they can only go level 3 has changed. But there are like level 3 castles are more of the same than forts. So they're a bit equal in the cost and how strong they are. Alright, so as mentioned before, there are a few other small changes and fixes and stuff in this update. If you want to look it all up, as I mentioned before, we have a changelog for that. But I do want to mention 2 things that has been fixed / changed. Starting off with the volunteer bug. You were not able to send any volunteers to any country whatsoever in the mod. That was a big one, of course, but that should be fixed now. So you should be able to just send volunteers, just as how it works in the base game. And the other thing is something that we changed, which is how many factories you can use for every construction that you have. That used to be 15, of course. Now we changed it to 12, a bit lower amount. We did this since generally in our mod you have a way lower amount of factories, of course, compared to the base game, where generally you have much more factories. We thought it would be more fitting, and this way the bar of having multiple things in construction at the same time is a bit lowered, since it now is 12, of course, instead of 15. So we thought it would be more fitting within the mod, within the setting. This is, of course, also still as bit trying out, so that might change a little bit later on. We're definitely going to lower it to 15, but we set it 12 for now, but that might change to 10 or go up a bit. It's about testing, looking what is the right amount, of course. Finding balance in that, which often takes time. Yes, and then our very first giveaway. Well, like I said, we added those designers for the different types in game, the air designer, the ship designer and the cavalry designer. But as you also probably know, those designers are sadly locked behind DLC, which is very sad. Paradox changed that. Okay, all kidding aside, of course, I guess it makes sense. It's fine. It's just an extra thing. It's not that all ships are locked behind DLC. That would suck. So it's sad that those are locked behind, and it's also sad that means that the things that we just part of this update is locked behind DLC. So we thought that would be a fitting moment to start with our first giveaway. So what we're gonna give away is a copy of the DLC for every designer. So 1 copy of the No Step Back DLC, 1 copy of the Man the Guns DLC, and 1 copy of the By Blood Alone DLC. So you might wonder, you probably wonder, how am I gonna win this shit? Well, you're gonna win this by, of course, liking and subscribing, but I assume you already did that, of course. Right, and by leaving, of course, a comment below and telling me why you want that DLC, but above all, what you would come up with as design. And you can go completely right. Use all your creativity. I'm looking forward to see what you guys come up with. My best idea was an eagle that just throws dwarfs towards the orcs from sky, but I'm not the most creative guy in the world, so you guys probably come up with way better ideas. Alright. So what does the mod has in store for you guys in the future? Well, we're gonna continue working on Isengard and Rohan. We hope to release our very first sneak peek related to that in the next few weeks. If you don't want to miss that, join our Discord server. Link is in the description. Get that devlog role so you make sure you get pinged and you make sure that you don't miss anything. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, like, subscribe, you know how that goes on YouTube, that kind of stuff. Leave a comment if you want to win the giveaway. Again, tell me why you want to win the giveaway. We're going to give away the 3 DLCs that unlocks the designer, and we're going to pick a winner for each DLC. So that was it. I hope you liked it, and see you next time.